My husband's childhood best friend asked me for a favor, then humiliated me in front of her family. I'm done being the bigger person. Originally posted to r/true off my chest. Original post was April 22nd, 2025. I've been sitting on this for a few days trying to decide if I'm just being dramatic or if I've been letting too much slide for too long. So I, 30 female, have been happily married for a few years now. My husband, 31 male, is honestly a gem. Kind, patient, hilarious, loyal. Basically everything you'd want, which, after having an ex cheat on me with his best friend, is kind of a big deal. The relationship wrecked me for a while, but I worked hard not to drag the wreckage into something new. And my husband? Thankfully, my husband's never given me a single reason to question him until now, question mark. Maybe? I don't know. My husband and I have a great relationship and we're pretty social and often hang out with each other's friends. I get along with almost all of his group and they've honestly made me feel welcome, except for her, his childhood best friend. Let's call her Claire. Claire has always been cold to me. Not outright rude, just subtle enough to make me feel crazy for noticing. You know that kind of vibe? Every time we've been in the same room, she's managed to talk around me, not to me. I tried, I really did. I've smiled, made conversation, been nothing but warm, even when she's given me nothing to work with. She doesn't show up to group hangouts, but she'll invite him over, and he always tells me, to his credit. He never goes without mentioning it, and he's never weird or secretive about her. But it still rubs me the wrong way. I've tried being friendly. I've tried small talk. Hell, I invited her to our birthdays, barbecues, engagement dinner. She bailed on all of them. She skipped our wedding too, and she only ever seems to reach out to him, usually when she's just been dumped and needs to talk. When I brought it up, my husband says I'm overthinking it, that Claire is just a little odd socially. Maybe she is. I know she trusts her husband, but either he is so aloof, it's like a little unattractive. Like, come on, dude, put it together. This ain't rocket science, all right? We all know Claire's got a fucking rock hard dick for you, bro. Either he does understand and he's like not telling his wife that he understands, or like bro is so aloof to a point that like actually kind of makes me mad. Long story short, that was just my way of saying I'm not a fan of this husband. Then a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, she messaged me. She asked if I'd model for her project. Totally unexpected. And I was caught off guard enough to say yes. Part of me thought maybe this is her trying to connect. Maybe this was her olive branch. I even felt a little hopeful. God, I was naive. So I agreed. My husband offered to come with me since he hadn't seen her in a while and thought it'd be fun to catch up after. When we got there, her family was also involved. And from the second I walked in, it was like stepping into some passive-aggressive Twilight Zone. Her mom and sister kept calling my husband our son-in-law. I laugh awkwardly. Think I must have misheard. It only got worse. During the shoot came more of the snarky comments, jokes about the one that got away and some bonds never fade. Her mom at one point literally said, "We always thought Claire would end up with him, but life has its detours, I guess." And Claire always imagined walking down the aisle with him. And then it's sweet of her to fill in though. Oh, come on. I wish I was exaggerating. And Claire just kept snapping pictures, smiling, saying nothing. No, hey, cut it out. No awkward laugh, no redirect, nothing. My husband, clearly uncomfortable. I watched him fidget through the whole thing, clear his throat a few times. He tried to change the subject or came nearby me during the shoot. He didn't say much either. He just kind of went quiet. I don't fuck with this husband, bro. They start saying crazy shit like that. You go, yeah, but I didn't pick Claire and I never will. Honey, we're leaving. Like, sack the fuck up, bro. That's actually insane to let that disrespect happen. His husband sucks. Like, actual dick. I genuinely believe OP should be more mad at the husband right now than at them. Like, this is an encounter that is like, we are never talking to them ever again. And if your husband doesn't react like that, honestly, red flag. Red goddamn flag. I stuck it out for an hour, let her take her photos, smiled, posed, whatever. But the whole time I felt like I was a part of a social experiment and everyone else was in on the joke but me. When we got in the car, he was silent for a while, then finally said, "Sorry about all that. That was weird, right?" Yeah, no shit, it was weird, bro. And you should have stepped up. And honestly, I didn't even know what to say because, yeah, it was weird. It was borderline disrespectful. And the fact that he was there, saw all of it, clearly felt it too, and didn't step in or pull the plug, it makes me feel kind of alone in this. I'm just tired of pretending the woman is harmless or just awkward. She knows exactly what she's doing. I don't want to start a huge fight, but I'm at the point where I don't want her in our lives. Not as a friend, not as a ghost in the corner of our marriage. No more bending over backwards to be the cool wife. I'm not interested in earning points with someone who clearly doesn't want me around. Anyway, thanks for letting me scream into the void for a minute. I really needed to get this out. Dude, you should start a fight. I'll fucking say it. I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole for this, but I think you need to be really fucking mad at your husband. And your husband needs to stop being a dumb man. If your best friend is pulling this shit in front of your wife, that's not your best girlfriend anymore, whatever the fuck they called it in this story. He should just get rid of her without asking. And by God, should OP be asking. Not even asking. Demanding. Screaming, shouting, threatening divorce. Because what the fuck was that? Miss me with this kind of love, y'all. I want a partner who, like, if that ever happened, she would shut it down ASAP Rocky. That is the bare minimum of being in a relationship with someone, is that they stand up for your relationship. It's actually that easy. He's encouraging this behavior by not speaking up. 100%. Being silent is the same as encouraging. That's so insane. I mean, the fact that OP stayed there too, like, girl, anybody shows you that level of disrespect, you fucking tell them to suck a dick and you leave. That's insane, y'all. There is an edit here. They made a clarification that English is not their first language. They're also just clarifying a few things people were asking about. Claire is actually a photography major, and the shoot was part of her final project. I'm not a professional model or anything, but I've done some hobby modeling here and there. So when she asked if I'd help out, I thought it was a casual favor. Why at her house? She comes from a wealthy family and has a fully set up photo studio in their house, which is why the shoot happened there instead of a regular studio. I honestly thought it'd just be her and the camera, not a full audience with drinks and commentary. Additional background, I grew up in a pretty emotionally abusive household, so I think I've gotten too used to passive-aggressive comments and just sort of freeze up. Maybe that's why I didn't react more in the moment, but yeah, it definitely hit harder after the fact. I will update you as soon as possible. A couple of relevant comments that OP replied to, so I'm just gonna read them because I'm guessing we're gonna have some character development here. So one commenter said, borderline disrespectful. I'd hate to see what you think is actually disrespectful. OP replied, wow, reading your comment and honestly so many others has really helped me see just how not okay that whole situation was. Think I was so used to brushing off this kind of behavior that I didn't even realize how deeply disrespected I was. I grew up in an emotionally abusive household where snide comments and passive aggression were just part of the background noise. So when someone pulls that kind of crap now, I think a part of me automatically minimizes it. Like, oh, I've heard worse. But reading all your reactions kind of snapped me out of that. And yeah, it hurts that my husband didn't shut it down. I've been trying to rationalize it in my head, like maybe he didn't want to escalate things because it felt like a trap, or that he is not used to being in these kinds of situations. None of that excuses it though, not even a little bit. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow, really talk. Not brush it off, not laugh it away, just lay it all out, because at this point, I need to know where he stands. Thanks for the reality check. I needed it more than I realized. All right, good shit. Put your whole dick on the table, OP. That's what we want. Okay, and then we have a long update, April 23rd, 2025, about a day after the original post. For those wondering, 1, no, they never dated. He had a high school crush on her over a decade ago. That's ancient history. 2, no, I don't think he's ever cheated, emotionally or physically. He's always very open and honest. We have each other's passwords. 3, they barely see each other anymore in person, maybe once every few months. We live about 2 hours away. Okay, so here's the update. Funny enough, I didn't even get the chance to sit down and talk to my husband before something else happened. I just can't believe my life at the moment. Anyway, I was still trying to process what happened and sort through my anger towards Claire, and honestly, toward my husband too. That's when I got a message from my sister-in-law. We'll call her Madeline. I'm really close with Madeline. She's part of the wider social circle that Claire floats around in. They're friendly, but not close. She sent me a screen recording from Claire's close friend story with a simple WTF. It was a clip of me posing during the shoot, no music, but in the background, you can clearly hear Claire's sister say, Claire should have been the one to marry him. I lost it. I waited until my husband got home from work, sat him down, and showed him the video. He watched it once, then again. His whole face changed. He finally looked pissed. I could not help but think, why didn't he have the same reaction there? Why is the video making you mad? Like, honestly, y'all, Claire could have just posted this video because she's fucking stupid, you know? Y'all ever posted something on your story and you didn't realize the background had some like dumb shit that like you would have preferred to, I mean, hopefully it wasn't that embarrassing, but like, y'all, the one that I always think about is like, I'll be at a concert recording, but also singing, and then I'll post it, and then I'll realize after it's been up for hours that you can hear me shittily singing it in the background. Like, I understand how you can accidentally do something like that. Like, I don't understand why bro is getting mad now. Hey man, the time to get mad was when it was happening right in front of your fucking face. So I laid it all out. I told him everything, every snide comment, every time Claire made me feel small, how I'd always tried to be civil, how I never asked him to choose between us, but I was done being polite while someone consistently disrespected me. I told him, if this doesn't bother you enough to act, we've got a bigger problem. I'm not going to be in a marriage where I have to beg to be defended. I need a partner who stands up for me, and if it's not you, then I need to rethink this. He didn't argue, didn't get defensive, and I know he feels sorry. Hell yeah. That's putting your whole dick on the table right there, chat. Take notes. Pull out the pen and paper. Then I showed him the Reddit post. He tried to read every comment. Some of them made him tear up. When he finished, he looked at me and said he feels like the worst husband. He let this happen right in front of him. He is so sorry and asked me, what do you need from me now? I told him straight up, this isn't just about her anymore. It's about whether or not you're willing to protect this marriage, but I'm not going to feel like I'm second place in my own relationship. So it's either me or her. So we called Claire. She picked up all cheerful, acting like nothing had happened. We brought up the video. She immediately got defensive. Oh, come on. It was just a joke. Are you really mad over that? Seriously? And that's when he stepped in. This isn't just about the video. It's the constant disrespect towards my wife. I didn't say anything before because I didn't want to lose your friendship, and I convinced myself you didn't mean it. But what happened at that shoot? That was disgusting. My wife came to support you, and you and your family treated her like a joke. I didn't speak up then, and I'm ashamed of that. But that ends now. I don't even know why I held on to this friendship for so long. If you can't respect my wife, you don't respect me. She laughed. Literally laughed. Wow, you're really cutting me off over that girl. Oh my God, I was ready to fight, but husband calmed me down, said to Claire, if choosing between you and my wife ever felt like a hard decision, I wouldn't deserve her. We're not kids anymore. You need to grow up. I simply do not want to be your friend anymore. I have nothing else to say. Telling you he can be a gym sometimes. You know what? He's making his way out of the doghouse, but like, bro's still stuck in there in my opinion. He did one thing right because he kind of needed to be told to do so. I don't think we should be giving him any pats on the back, me personally. But yeah, we blocked her and her entire family. Since then, he's been checking in with me, not trying to fix things, just showing up, listening, understanding. He finally sees what I've been dealing with. We've still got some healing to do, but now I know where he stands, and that changes everything for me. And then the obligatory thank you. I mean, I'm glad it ended well, but I'm still fucking mad at the husband, high key. Like, that should just be common sense. Like, we need to have a class like Common Sense in Relationships 101. Hey, if someone's shitting on your wife, whether it's your best friend, her entire family, or some fucking stranger, you stand up for them. Wild, bro. I mean, I get it. OP doesn't sound like they came from a healthy household. So, like, I get it. I'm glad she got there, but holy fuck. Final update, July 24th, 2025. The update itself isn't dramatic. After that last call, we blocked Claire and her whole family, and that was it. No follow-up, no weird texts, no fake apology, nothing. Just silence. And honestly, that silence was kind of the best thing she ever gave me. My husband's been great, not doing too much or trying to overcompensate, just steady. He finally sees how much I was putting up with. He's been more protective in a real way, not just in words. He owns how passive he was before. It doesn't feel like we've been trying to move on. It feels like we're on the same page now. I think the biggest shift is internal. I'm not second guessing myself as much. I'm not trying to win people over who have already decided not to see me. I feel a lot more grounded, and it's because I finally spoke up instead of brushing things off. So yeah, not much drama, but a lot of clarity. Thank you to everyone who commented or messaged or just listened. I'm probably going to delete this account soon, but this thread honestly helped me more than I can explain. For anyone else dealing with subtle disrespect that makes you question your own gut, you're definitely not imagining it. You're not being dramatic. You don't have to keep being the bigger person just to stay nice. Okay, so nothing insane. More just like confirmation that the husband stepped up even more than he did in this update. I don't remember exactly, but I remember he stepped up quite a bit in this update. Because with this one, I was like, bro, divorce immediately. And I think at the end of this one, I was like, you're doing okay.